Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios, this is the feature-length agenda for the 21st of September.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
G'day there. Welcome along. Myself, G Lane, Matt Heath, and Manaia Stewart.
Do you remember the 21st day of September?
That's right. That's right.
Love changing the minds of pretenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While chasing
what a
the clouds
tune that
away.
is. What a tune that is.
Can I just play, I'm going to, outside of reminiscing on that tune, can I play you a piece of audio, Matt Heath?
Yeah.
There you go.
Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone!
That is Mr. Skin. That is the winner of the Jossie Wells Invitational Off Mountain Award for the best performance off mountain, the ACC Award. It's the most sought after and also, I hear, the most feared award.
Yes.
Is that up there with the Chase Utley winning the World Series?
Oh, in Philadelphia.
World champions. World fucking champions!
And
That's a great speech.
And let's hear Mr. Skin. Mr. Skin was similar.
Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone!
I can imagine if Ian Foster wins the Rugby World Cup.
Oh,
if he managed to pull it off, I hope that's his speech.
Yep.
It'd be like, fuck everyone. Fuck everyone. How good would that? That would be so good. That would cement him as the greatest coach of all time.
From now on, everything that we ever win needs to be celebrated with fuck everyone, fuck everyone, fuck everyone. It was great as well because he was in a room full of the greatest skiers and snowboarders from around the world who had all just won thousands of dollars for skiing and snowboarding. And he was in the hall just screaming, fuck everyone. People are like peering around the corner, like, what's going on out here? Why has this guy got cricket pads on?
Yeah.
It was a great. The award he got was obviously a 15 kg glass orb and some children's cricket pads, which he had to wear. Well, he didn't have to, but he did wear for the rest of the night. Proceeded to drop the award on his toe, shatter his toe. He can no longer get his foot into a ski boot.
Right.
So his livelihood is pretty much finished.
That's classic. This happens to me all the time. You celebrate a victory so hard you turn it into a loss.
Turn it into a defeat. Yeah. But it was earned because I think there was much consternation around who was going to win that award. And I got to be honest, I think the best off-mountain performance is an award that's earned, not given. And if there was no candidate, then we were more than happy not to give it out.
Yeah, right.
I think you were probably the biggest candidate.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a winner. Someone has to get it. Yeah.
It was either me or Warhorse, but neither of us were part of the competition. So he was the one that won it, and there couldn't have been a more deserving winner. I told him at the time he embodied everything that this award stood for.
Yeah.
He was blind drunk from the moment he landed there to the moment he accepted the award.
Yeah.
He only then went on to break his toe with said award later on at about 3 a.m. And I think that sets a massive precedent for next year, that if you want to win this is where the bar is.
Yeah.
And I hope that whoever wins it next year celebrates by screaming, fuck everyone!
Fuck
everyone! Fuck everyone!
It's a sport that every year goes somewhere that you couldn't believe was even possible the year before.
Yeah.
And so why wouldn't there be off the mountain as well?
Well, a big part of skiing and snowboarding is the NBD, the never been done, and that's what that's the holy grail. It's what everyone's striving for. Mr. Skin achieved that this year.
I'd like to see someone shit their pants next year.
Yeah. I think that is part of it. I mean, Joe Jury is a good judge of that. Our content director over there, who's on the desk today, he's been there, done that.
Yeah.
He shat the pants.
I won't hear a bad word. He shat his pants trying to save a man.
Let's not get into this.
He was trying to save a man.
This is going to be the subject of a podcast series because he then accused said man of dumping in his own bed when in fact it was his own dump.
But that was
He's moved things on.
I was partly responsible for that. I tried to lower a cone of silence over what had happened that night.
And Mrs. Whippy and old Cooney.
Oh my
Mrs.
God!
Whippy.
Yeah,
Okay,
we've got the Mrs. Whippy series. That's the story that needs to be told.
It needs to be.
It's a true crime broadcast.
Okay,
It was
a crime, that's for sure. Okay, there was up them. The Warriors. They've launched just sneak the up the wires into everyday life. And Manaia and Matt, I seem to recall about 4 weeks ago. We may have launched that campaign.
Well, it's a great idea. I could only wish that I had come up with it about a month ago. They've obviously got a bigger audience that they are the Warriors, so this is a battle that we're never going to win.
Yeah.
We're just like, we actually came up with it.
They commented on the post.
I know.
They commented on our idea, and then they turned around. Motherfuckers.
And the video that they posted to be like, hey, why don't you guys give it a try, was a video that someone made for us.
Yeah.
That's good.
Look,
but
the more the merrier.
But it is funny because I've seen a bunch of cynical people going, I'm sick of hearing about the up the wires everywhere, people, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, well, do you think the Warriors don't like that? Do you think the team that you support wants to be less big?
Yeah.
That's the most annoying attitude that some people are running around at the moment. It's like, do you think your club doesn't want to be the toast of the nation? Yeah, of course they bloody do. That's the whole freaking point of a franchise. You get successful and you get popular.
Yeah. When has this ever
And you
happened?
buy more players because you got more money.
When has this ever happened that the Kiwi public is sick of how successful that the Warriors are? It's ridiculous.
How quickly?
Yeah.
How quickly have people turned?
just stop supporting them, okay?
Yeah.
Stop being so positive. Can you just stop it?
Three people in the southern stand is how we want to see Go Hard Stadium.
That's right.
In the pissing rain.
And by the way, if they lose, like it probably is all over. So, if you are of that opinion, then don't worry. It's only 2 more weeks, tops.
Yeah. So what do you reckon? On the Manjeri show, we started a change.org petition to get Jeremy Wells to change his name to Jeremy Wars.
Yeah.
That won't go down well on 7 Sharp.
It won't?
Right, ratings will plummet.
Really? Hello, Barry and Jeremy Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've already got 580 signatures.
580. How many do you need? How many is he committed to before he changes
how
it?
many is
Well,
binding?
we've got big names. David Bain's on board. He's doing it for his family. Mark Lundy's
on there.
Lundy's signed up.
Watson.
Some of the early ones. Scott Watson signed up as well. So let's just look at some of the numbers. And names coming through.
So you're
Renee
verifying?
Chignall's on there.
You're verifying all those?
Peter Plumley Walker is on.
Okay. I can see how this change org thing is going. It's very similar to Crick Info and the amount of times David Bain comments on live matches.
So do you believe, Manaia Stewart, do you believe that the Warriors can beat the Broncos in Brisbane with Reece Walsh and a little baggy?
I do. We were talking about it yesterday on the podcast. Valentine Holmes of Photo with a Baggie in the Mouth fame from just a couple of weeks ago. We were like, why don't we crowdfund to get him down to Brisbane? And she's like, hey, Reece and the boys just down the road. Why don't you go hang out with them? They came for a beer and just sabotage the whole thing.
Full honey trap?
Yeah, full honey trap them. But I don't know. I felt like last week I was more nervous about going up against Newcastle because they're on this 10-game winning streak and they looked tremendous. And they were kind of the game that we, historically have lost. And then this is kind of the game that we historically win. A team that, has finished at the top of the competition. Everyone's saying they're probably the only team that can upset the Panthers. These are the teams that we just pop up out of nowhere and smack.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a bit of feeling in it about Reece Walsh. All of the stories, every time they interview someone that was at the Warriors when Reece Walsh was there, they all go, oh, yeah, Reece Walsh, he's a pretty boy.
He's a person. He's a human. Yep. He's
a player.
He played in the team. Yep.
It's like when you started a new job and you ask about the person you replaced. They'll go, he was good. He was a good guy. And you're like, okay, so he was a wanker.
Yeah.
So I know that there's a bit of feeling in this one, and if we institute the same game plan that we did last week, very simple. We just repeat the same shit over and over again.
Yep.
We completely sell out to smash Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
I can't see why we couldn't at least.
And there's no lack of New Zealanders and Warriors fans around the Goldie region, around the Brizzy and the Queensland region. I mean, it could get home gamey for the Warriors.
Look, I'm requesting all those listeners over in Queensland. You got the Gold Coast, you got the Sunshine Coast. We want a pincer movement.
Yeah.
Sunshine from north, Gold Coast from the south, and just full sandwich Brisbane. Big convoys.
I've got a mate going up from Byron Bay, which isn't too far off. I mean, it's not in Queensland, but it's right on the edge of it. So the Kiwis are they're like rats out of a fucking drain pipe. We all know there's a lot there, but they can come out. They can come out in force. Just
how many do you reckon?
Biggest pieces of shit that have ever attended a rugby league game, and that's something could just come out and just give it something for the Warriors.
Go hot, because the Queensland fans, Brisbane fans aren't much better. Let's be honest, they are pieces of crap.
I've watched league over there at Suncorp, and there's nothing more inbred than a Queensland league supporter. Whole families of inbred, horrific looking ex-convict families.
Yeah. Shout out to all our Brisbane Broncos fans and Queensland fans.
It's rugby league.
They'll be rich. Australians, they're so rich. New Zealanders talking about being inbred.
Totally. I may have committed a crime.
At least we're not fucking breeding with sheep.
I may have committed a crime.
No. you have committed a crime. Today, I'm hearing rumours that G Lane is in the middle of planning a party to celebrate the Warriors' grand final victory. How do you respond to these allegations, Lane?
How dare you? Tell me it's not true.
I've heard scripts have been written for promotional trailers to play on radio. I've heard a venue is in negotiations at the moment. Are you planning a parade, G Lane?
Oh no, you're literally planning a parade.
Not figuratively. Literally planning an actual parade. Is that the death blow? Are you now the jinx?
It's not a parade, okay? It's not a parade.
Well, because it's staying in the same location.
But look, it's the grand final is next Sunday, so I may have prepared some material around promoting a grand final event that may or may not have the Warriors in it.
Oh,
the only kind of this behaviour that I would accept is printing the shirts, because then we could still wear them.
And they massively go up in value.
Yeah, 100%.
Warriors champions 2023. Oh, you've done that?
Oh, you printed the shirts?
Right. Well, that's a good shorting the market, because it's good printing them, because if you win, you sell them. Yeah. If you lose, they become novelty and you sell them.
Yeah. If you lose, you become accused of being treasonous and hung out.
Yeah.
Is this going to turn into a circular firing squad if the Warriors lose on who jinxed them? Who got into it? Is the whole up the wires thing being the problem? But no, I reckon I'm on the camp that we won last week and that got us into the top 4. So it's already been our year.
100%.
It's all gravy. It's all good. It's all icing. It's also icing mixed with gravy. It's all butter. Ass backwards into it. It's all good.
It's a jus.
It's a beautiful jus.
Right. Okay.
It's a beautiful jus.
You asked a question, Matt Heath, on the Hodaki Breakfast Show around, and a poll went out asking, you had to choose. You have to choose.
Yeah.
All Blacks World Cup victory was NRL victory. And I just had a glimpse at the poll. Overwhelmingly, it's the Wars.
Oh, yeah. Everyone that rang up and said, oh, shit, yeah, the Wars, no doubt. People were saying the next 3 Rugby World Cups for one Wars win.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, is it because we've already won?
We've already won it before. Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's also sooner.
Yeah. Well,
people are impatient.
Yeah, that's true. As soon as if they lose this weekend, they'll be like,
I tell you who's hoping for a Warriors loss, the Rugby Union. Like, secretly, they're just going, we are getting our asses handed to us. Every story is about how much the Warriors do it better than they do, and how much the fandom is actually is actually a genuine fandom, and all this kind of stuff, and the whole nation's behind it. The Rugby Union's going, nah, that is our position by birth.
Yeah, and
to be the number 1 team in New Zealand by birth, it's our right.
Because the fans are singing the Warriors victory song, like they're getting in behind it, and it just so happens, like this, it's serendipity that the weekend the All Blacks aren't playing in the Rugby World Cup is the biggest match that the Warriors have had for 10 years.
Yeah. I think it has blindsided the Rugby Union, because in 2011, when they were marching through the home World Cup, the Warriors, that was the last time we made the grand final.
Yeah.
But people were still talking more about the All Blacks than they were about the Warriors this time around. And so they thought that's what it was going to be like again. This time around, it's completely different. It's a good point that you raised, like the 1 lolly now versus the 2 lollies later. Like, we would much rather have the Warriors win. And I think it's such a tortured fan base, the Warriors, that all we want is just to be alive when they win a comp, and then you're done. They could win a comp now and then not win again for another 20 years. Doesn't fucking matter.
Dine out on that shit forever, and then sit through 1,000 grim seasons after that and just know that they did it.
I'll tell you what, though, there is quite a few people out there, and we get a lot of feedback on our socials around, I'm sick of the fucking Warriors. You fuck up about the league.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
that's all Murray Deaker under different...
Yeah, it is actually. It is.
Different pseudonyms.
Speaking of which, on the Murray Deaker podcast, I'm yet to wade through any sort of episodes to bring out the Yours Please Deaker quote of the week.
Yeah.
That will be coming out in the next week, potentially.
Are we still doing the Deaker Plunger Challenge?
Yes. There is $1,000 on the line. If you can find Murray Deaker out in the wild, or even ideally during his podcast, pretend you're a cleaner, come in with a plunger, just stick it to his head. But ideally, he thrashes around like a unicorn trying to get it off.
Like a narwhal.
Like a narwhal.
Yeah.
That's ideal. $1,000 yours. Cold hard cash if you manage to...
And ideally, if it could be slightly forward as well, so it's really narwhal.
Oh,
With the unicorn horn going.
That's first prize, but we won't nickel and dime you if you manage to plunger his head.
Yeah. Oh, my God, it's hard enough to plunge it Dika's head, let alone
that's right.
asking where on his bald head you plunger him.
It's an ancient proverb.
You need to get the camber right. You got to put it on an area which has got surface which will suck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
top or back of the head.
Back is quite good. Quite hard to get it off of the back.
Have we got a sponsor on board for the Dika Plunger Challenge?
No.
Plumbing World?
Yeah.
I think Plumbing World.
Reach out plumbing suppliers.
Yeah. Reese's Plumbing Supplies, maybe. I talk a little bit of code. A big game this weekend that everyone's going to be watching is on Sunday morning, and that's Ireland versus South Africa.
Oh, big
to decide that pool, because that obviously decides who we're going to play, ideally.
Yeah, if we don't lose to Italy.
Yeah, if we don't lose to Italy. But the Saffers going for the 7-1 bench option, just the one halfback on the bench and 7 forwards. Someone asked,
how many halfbacks on the field?
Well, there'll be 2, but 1 for South Africa.
One on the bench for the South Africa.
Right.
The rest of the bench are forwards.
Yeah.
And someone's thrown out the thing, should All Blacks do the same? Should they just have Cam Royds and 7 forwards? Now, my issue is, do we have 7 forwards?
Well, we don't at the moment.
Do we have 7 fit forwards to do that?
Well, Ethan de Groot's not there, is he?
Yeah.
No, Ethan Blackadder's going to have to be one of them as well. We get to play some injured Frizzels and the likes. I reckon we should go full 8-man forward rotation, because when I was saying this yesterday, when Ardie Savea turned out for whatever club it was that he played for a couple of months ago, he played fullback. So you can obviously cover a few different positions out there. So why not just name an 8-man bench of all forwards?
And the backs get so little ball and running time these days. They're not getting nearly as shagged as the forwards are.
No.
Yeah.
I think you need probably 1.
But also never, no matter what, sub off Aaron Smith.
Yeah.
Especially...
He
can go for the whole game, and it doesn't matter if he's 50% shagged.
Yeah.
He's still better than anyone else.
I think if out of any team, and maybe because we know them better, the All Blacks have the ability to shift positions, because you've got Ioane, who can play wing.
Yep.
You've got Whanganuku, who can play centres.
Yep.
You've got Damien McKenzie, who can play first 5 fullback wing.
Yeah.
You've got Will Jordan, who can play
So
fullback wing.
hide your subs on the field.
You got Jordan.
Yeah.
You got you got Barrett, who can play Geordie Barrett, who can play fullback.
He can play
inside centre wing.
Or centre. He could probably lock up as well.
Bodie Barrett. He can play. They got these. They can all play everything.
Scott Barrett.
Scott Barrett,
Blindside.
Yeah.
First 5.
Yeah.
And like a flanker, like come on, all you're doing is binding on the side. I understand the role of contesting at rucks and that kind of thing, but you can just pack whoever on the side of the scrum. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Positionless rugby is where we're headed to. The only ones that genuinely need to be is the front rowers.
Yeah.
They genuinely need to be front rowers.
I think we're talking under 85s now. That's what the under 85 grade is in New Zealand. It is basically.
But we're doing this already with twin pivots. No one knows who's number 10 at any given time on the field. I mean, they're swapping positions doing that. So do it with everything. It's like
on the twin pivots thing. I've always had a theory that we should have twin halfbacks. Because you know how the game is based on how quickly can you recycle the ball.
Yeah.
Well, what if you had 2 halfbacks and you divide the field in half and you're the left-hand halfback, you're the right-hand halfback. You have a left-hander and a right-hander perhaps, and you just run it that way. So they only ever have to cover half the field each of them, and the recycle ball is just that much quicker.
And the first receiver just gets into the right spot.
Yeah. You've said some stupid things in your time, Manaia, some dangerously stupid shit. But that's actually not bad.
Yeah,
that's
not bad.
twin halfbacks.
But do we have to have 16 on the field then? Or is it?
No, you just
especially if you've got one of your halfbacks is Damien McKenzie, who can also be the first receiver at any given time.
That's right. Then one of your forwards plays out in the back line, Ardie Savea. Then I don't know, you're square.
Fozzie, if you do that, if Fozzie does that, then he'll get to do that speech.
Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone! Fuck everyone!
I love the. Oh, you love how
the voice crack.
Yeah, the voice
Fuck
cracks.
everyone!
Right, let's get into some cricky. Sexy Camel. The Sexy Camel's undergoing surgery. Dislocated his thumb during the last England one day, which we got.
Can't you snap that bad boy back in?
Yeah, well, so I thought with a dislocation, you just go
back into it.
But no, so they're going to make a decision on whether he's available for the World Cup.
Jesus Christ! That's because I was just thinking with lovely Trenty there, we're looking a bit better as a team. There's a good chance we're going to have a bit of Suthiship Williamson in the squad.
Oh, yes.
And we were looking like barring up like it's 2015 all over again.
Yeah.
And then this has happened.
But do you know that we're going to Bangladesh now for a series?
Oh, what?
It's not even on TV.
You mean after the World Cup?
No,
It's
now.
a secret. injury-generating series in Bangladesh.
Yeah,
they're not making lovely trendy go there, are they?
Yes.
Oh, it's penance for being in the World Cup.
Yeah.
That's cruel.
Why are we cramming so much cricket in before the World Cup? I can't understand it.
It's a mixture of warm-ups and of that Future Tours program, which you're obliged to, because obviously Bangladesh are coming out here pre-Christmas, so it's all part of that reciprocal arrangement. But then the Whakamana's captain.
The Whakamana's captain?
Yeah, the Whakamana Express out of the Whakamana Academy.
Is that going to be the first time a captain's ever worn the number 69?
Oh, no. I think there was a Sri Lankan who wore 69. Angelo Matthews. Yeah, he wore 69 as well. He's captaining that. It's not even on TV. I don't even know how to follow it. But half the team are back in New Zealand getting ready for the World Cup.
This is the epitome of cricket, isn't it? Having a black label cricket tour just for what? Like how? It's not growing the game. It doesn't. Who's making money off this? Seems like a massive backhander.
There was a controversy in Japan. There's a pitcher called Trevor Bauer who's got some terrible controversy, but he wanted 69 as his number when he started playing in Japan the other day. And the controversy started out of America when they told the Japanese what it was. They were like, well, yeah, so it's a sexual position. That sounds fine.
Yeah, that's so true.
Okay.
And also,
good.
Good
on you. But then he went for 96, and he said, because then it's the sexual position and how fast my average pitch is going to be.
No,
it's the same position.
That's the dude on top, though. That's problematic. The 96.
Yeah, definitely problematic for that guy.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Like as we've discussed, it's just a number.
Yeah.
It's just a number.
You're putting it all on. Yeah, it's all on you. If you choose to see something else in it.
Yeah,
I know.
Also, stop being such a prude.
It's so funny because my 11-year-old thinks it's hilarious. 69. Every time he sees, he starts laughing. I was like, "What do you think it is?" And he goes, "6." I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah,
he's cracked the Da Vinci.
Yeah. And he also entered a raffle at a school fair the other day with Mike Oxlong. And pulled these nuts. And I was like,
yeah, that's good.
It's cracking
that's
up.
Good stuff.
I was like, if they read that out, you're going to go up? And he goes, yeah.
That's good.
I've got a mate who was...
I wonder where he gets that from.
Who was shearing alpacas in the UK under a... He was on a tourist visa, so he wasn't technically allowed to be there, and the local TV station wanted to do a thing on these Kiwis are over here shearing alpacas. So they were like, what's your name? And he's like, Ben Dover. Oh. And now if you Google Ben Dover alpaca, a photo of Tom Cochrane on the news, on the Welsh news comes up, Mr. Ben Dover from New Zealand.
Just a little bit of advice if you're trying to stay undercover and work illegally. Don't go on TV. Just say, no, I'm good, these guys can do it. Yeah. I'll just sit in the back. I probably won't go on TV.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway. Yeah, Joe searched it. Joe searched it, pops up straight away.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil Mickelson said he's done with gambling, the golfer, after he's claimed he's wagered more than $1 billion US.
I think that's across his life. I don't think he slapped the $1 billion.
And what he's wagered, where's he sitting? Is he up or down?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
No one's up.
No one's up across $1 billion.
No one's up across $1 billion.
That's definitely, the house is going to win over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Can you remember that crazy tournament they ran, him and Tiger Woods playing each other and gambling on each hole?
Yeah, I do.
And they're like, they mic'd them up, and it was Mickelson going 100 grand on this one, mate, and Tiger's going sure, and Mickelson absolutely schooled him.
Yeah. He needs the action.
But it was like, how bizarre was that there was a live televised on TV, you could watch it on Sky, two multi-millionaire, 100-millionaire golfers just gambling on each hole, and everyone was like, this is awesome.
It's brilliant. It's the future of golf. Live, which by the way was a massive gamble from Mickelson as well. That
gamble paid off.
Explains
the $1 billion.
the belly. But that I reckon is the future of golf, not live, where you just watch two dudes that you like watching and good chat, and you follow them around the course, and you and your mates can gamble on it between yourselves. Like I'd love to watch that. Maybe we should do that with the ACC Open.
Well, is this like this? I'm giving up gambling because I've dropped a bill. That sounds like me. I mean, on Saturday I said I was giving up drinking.
I think
he's going to drop another bill before he gives up.
100%. Yeah. He's going to find another way to do it. Yeah. There's going to be another way. But on the topic of golf, you talked to Ryan Fox this week post his BMW PGA Championship win.
What a great New Zealander!
I heard at the interview, and I had to laugh because he was so candid about the fact that he doesn't. You don't often see Ryan Fox celebrate. I mean, there's no photos of him doing a fucking David Warner double punch fire in the air kind of. But after that putt sunk, after that back nine, 6 birdies, he kind of did quite a strange fist pump.
Yeah, doesn't come natural to him.
No, it didn't. And here's what he had to say about it.
Straight off the back of winning the BMW PGA Championship. G'day, Ryan. Firstly, congratulations.
Thanks, boys. Yeah, it was pretty amazing, to be honest. I'm not normally one for celebrating too much, to be honest. I try to keep it nice and level-headed on the golf course, and I've been sent a couple of slightly embarrassing photos of that fist pump. I think one comparing me to the Happy Gilmore's boss, the ugly-looking mad dude. So, yeah, I've had a couple, but to be honest, it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty chuffed, and they can wind me up as much as they like. Quickly, just want to say thank you to everyone. The support from back home has been amazing. I've been overwhelmed by it all, and let's get behind all the Kiwi sports teams over the next couple of months. It's a massive couple of months of sport for us.
Oh, what a great New Zealand!
What a great dude! What a great dude! Also, not just deflecting back to the fact that there's some other games going on that are just as important.
And also great dude. Off air, he told us that he listens to the Matt and Jerry show every day. Big fan, and then gave me a bit of stick about talking a bit about his dad bod kind of situation.
Well, that's what I love most about Ryan Fox is the fact that between him and old John Ram, I'm like, you know what, that's fucking awesome.
But I think he's an example of he's talking about his buddies and Jerry's played a bit of golf with his Ryan Fox's friends.
Yeah.
And he's a classic guy that's got a good set of friends that he's had for a long time that keep him in line.
Yeah.
And so, as much as they want to celebrate his victory with him, they're also going to rip the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And also just drink him out of house and home. Just drain every ounce of liquor at any if he's staying somewhere they come to visit, when he's playing a game, they just go back and the whole place is dry.
Do you think when he said, people have been giving me stick and that's fine, because I won, do you think that's his version of fuck everyone? Fuck everyone! That's as close as he gets to that, I reckon.
How embarrassed would you have to be about your celebration for it to wipe over the 2.6 million you've just won?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I probably doing a wristwatch, and then shouting out, "What time is it? What time is it?"
Yeah. Well, that's an all-time great.
Yeah, wrapping your knob around it.
That's an all-time high. That one.
I liked. There's some footage also after he was standing next to the 18th green, waiting to be presented the trophy, and I think his dad there. Grant might have been there, and whispered, "Looks like we're going in the Masters again." And he's like, "Yeah," because he caddied for him. At the Masters, so you can see, I love how that's thing. He goes, "We're going to the Masters." I just love the fact that he's like him and his old man are headed back to the Masters.
Yeah.
Behind the absolute scenes, season 2 is well underway. 3 episodes are out so far. The last episode was a deep dive into my vasectomy, which I'm glad has been and gone. But episode 4 is out today at 4 p.m. This one goes deep on the pink ball test match at Eden Park and the police raid and here's a bit of a teaser.
The box was right next to the police.
I think there was concern that there was some contraband that was being brought in.
And we'd been behaving terribly for a long time.
What commentary team brings in a $500,000 brick of cocaine into their studio?
We were incredibly focused going into that.
Never been as high. The confidence. We got raided by the cops.
And left me as the intern in the commentary box.
Terrible idea. I can't believe we would have done that. That doesn't sound like something that a professional commentary team would have done.
Oh, great. So there you go. You see that full episode out Thursday today, which is the 21st of September, and just jump on the ACCNZ.com.
Speaking of professional commentators and podcasters, I got to go. There's a whole. I'm double booked for a whole film shoot, and they're waiting for me.
Before you go, wide on of the week. What gave you a wide on the sporting week? Just gone.
Oh, it's going to be.
Shall I ask you to leave now?
It's going to be my fantasy football team, Finkel Clutcher. Then the Finkel Clutcher League. Manaia's a part of it.
Is this the NFL? Is this NFL football?
Fantasy?
So it's not NRL or...
No, this is NFL. This is my fantasy league. The Cougars just going from strength to strength, two in a row there. That gave me a real wide on. Came from behind and beat the Dark Horse, who was watching from a bar and Greece and getting slowly depressed as I knocked him off. Yeah, so Finkel Clutcher, that's the league to watch in fantasy.
The Finkel Clutchers.
Yeah, Finkel Clutchers.
I've got to be honest, the investment level from you in the first 2 weeks has been, quite frankly, unsustainable. You're riding on every pass, every tackle, and every single thing ends up in the group chat, which I've tried to leave and also mute. Are you going to be able to keep that up for 4 months straight, do you think? Hanging on every single play?
No, there's just too much to watch. When I was listening, because my defence was playing the last game yesterday, on Tuesday morning. Afternoon, and just seeing how my defence goes, like desperately hoping that they get another sack.
Just watching defensive highlights.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, it just fills in every other second that I'm not watching sport with more reasons to watch sport, so that's good.
Okay, mate, you seem busy.
Okay,
we'll let you go.
Thanks,
let you go. Manaia Stewart, yes. White on of the week for you. I'm picking it's going to be that 40-10 Wawas.
That's exactly what it was. It got boring at a certain point. We all sort of stopped watching. There was so much going on at the Bullock Bar down there.
Oh, yes, you had the Bullock Bar. You had Bully Idol that night, didn't you? No, that was the night before.
Bully Idol was the night before. And it just set off this incredible chain of events whereby we watched the game. We initially were sitting on a couch with a screen directly about a metre in front of us, but 10 metres up in the air. We then moved on to a table. A few of the athletes had come down off the mountain. When the game finished, all of the other... Because it may shock you to know, snowboarders couldn't really give a fuck about the NRL.
Really?
But once the game had finished, and then 100 of the greatest skiers and snowboarders from around the world descended on the Bullock Bar.
Looking to tie one on.
Locals didn't know what to do with themselves. It was actually quite weird when they first walked in and the locals were there just blind drunk off the back of a Warriors win. Now all of a sudden here comes some Swedish dude who's like 3 times X Games medalist or whatever, and they're just looking at each other like, what the fuck? So it was a cultural experience, it was a spiritual experience, and in the end the Warriors absolutely thumped them. I had to field a half-cut phone call from my father immediately afterwards.
Half-cut?
Just to I suppose you add us both together, we're fully cut. Just to debrief what had happened and reassure each other that we had seen what we had seen. And so I think... For me, there couldn't have been anything wider than the Wars. How about for you? That was your debut.
No, I have to agree. That was my commentary debut for the Warriors, for the NRL, actually.
By all accounts, did a great job. I've heard from multiple people. They were like, Lane was great on the commentary on the weekend.
Thanks, mate. But do you know what? I actually found it easier than rugby.
It is.
A lot easier. I was a bit worried at the start because I know the rules. I've watched a lot of league, and I know the rules. I played league as a teenager. But I was I was a little bit concerned about how to call just 6 hit-ups.
Yeah.
But in the end, like, it's the same people doing the same job over and over.
Yep.
And it's whether they can do it to completion or not. You know what I mean? Like, they complete the tackles or not, and they just look for the mistake in between. And a little bit of razzle-dazzle here and there. But the fact that we started with 3 tries in the first 12 minutes, I'd almost lost my voice by then.
Yeah. I was just cutting the highlights this morning of watching the... You commentating Charles Nickel-Clockstad's first try. A minute and a half into the game, you're already losing your voice as he's scoring that try.
That's after the All Blacks in the morning.
Yeah.
To be honest, my voice is still battling to come back after that double banger. But that was definitely my white on the week. And attendance required this week. There is only one.
Yeah, that's right.
That is the Wars versus the Broncos, 9:50 p.m. So she's a bit of a late start Saturday. So I'd say a lot of people are going to be coming off a big runway.
What's the game plan there, do you reckon? Obviously, I'm commentating it, so my game plan is going to be a little bit different. But if you're, do you go out for drinks at like 5?
I reckon you have an early dinner at home. You have a barbecue, get some mates around, 3, 4, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Have a barbie, get some sausages in you, get whatever, some food in you, and then head to a bar or a location or someone's house around 6:30, 7.
Yeah.
Couple of hours build up, whack it on Sky Sport 9 from 9:50. Yourself and Di Henwood are on the call. Di's back. If you want to see someone who's fizzing at the bunghole, I reckon he's walked around with a heart on for like the last 4 days.
He might pop.
He might pop on Saturday. I reckon it's a game plan. I wouldn't go too early.
No.
Because I think you want to peak. You want to be peaking about 10 p.m., 10:30.
I'm going to go nap, I think, a mid-afternoon nap. I know a lot of the players, when they have the late game, they'll go the nap.
Really?
So, yeah, I'm just going to go with a little 1 hour. I don't want to get too deep into the REM sleep because, I've got to be firing come 9:50 p.m.
I've actually at 3 o'clock got the North Shore Rugby Junior Committee Kiwi Pong beer pong competition to run.
Jesus.
At 3 o'clock. For all the coaches, managers for the junior department. So there's 60 dads. Reliving your youth in a beer pong comp in the North Shore Rugby Club. So
you won't see the game?
No, I won't. The TAB good punt this week. Yeah. I've actually, I've gone a little bit out on a limb here.
Yeah.
Formula One's got a bit of airtime. Obviously, we've got Liam Lawson riding for AlphaTauri. Got his first points last week in Singapore. The Japanese Grand Prix is it this weekend? It's this Sunday. Obviously, if you're around Auckland, head into the sweatshop for the Red Bull activation there and the ACC as well. They've got a big screen up for that. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, the Japanese Grand Prix, I looked at some odds in there, and I was like, Lewis Hamilton, he's won it. He's won the Japanese Grand Prix 5 times. I think there's only one driver that's beaten him in it. I've got him, and my bet is him to make a top 3 finish, paying $275, which I think is a good shout. He's like Mercedes are there or thereabouts. He loves the Japanese Grand Prix, the Suzuka circuit there in Japan. So that's my TAB good punt.
I can't argue against
for the
it.
Week.
I mean, Lewis Hamilton's one of the 3 F1 drivers I've heard of. Max Verstappen and our own Liam Lawson.
Come on, you haven't heard of like George Russell?
No.
Yeah,
George Russell. No, doesn't he?
You haven't watched Drive to Survive?
No, I haven't watched Drive to Survive. I tried. Daniel Ricciardo, I just tried, but it just wasn't for me. I know this annoys people when I say I don't like motorsports. At best, it's motor games, and at worst, it's a waste of resources. We're facing a climate crisis. How can you justify what you're doing out there on that track?
Sorry, Chloe Swarbrick. Fucking hell.
It's just so
you've
boring.
You've got to watch.
You can't tell me they're fucking athletes either. I know it's hard to do. This is what happens every time I say this. Someone goes, oh, no, but they have to train and be in peak performance. It's like... Billy Slater would fucking obliterate any of those.
You need to watch Drive to Survive, okay? Because the guy Gunter, who is one of the managers of one of the teams, the Haas team, always get smoked. They're always crashing, and he's always going. Oh,
this is the new team.
He's going fuck, shit, fuck, and he's got Tourette's.
Yeah,
and every single Grand Prix he has to justify to the Haas owner, this billionaire, of why they're fucked up again. And it's like, and he's just like, I don't know, man. The guy's fucked. I don't know. And he's like, he's throwing the car under the bus. He's throwing the driver under the bus. You just got to watch for Gunter.
I will say, having said all of that, if I could beat any kind of athlete, it probably might be an F1 driver. Just the kind of life that they live looks sick. Yeah,
hundreds of millions of dollars worth. They all live
places they are.
They all live in Monaco.
Yeah,
they've all got absolute smoke shows. They've got absolute house burners.
You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. How dare you?
This is you. That's you, Manaia.
That's me. That's
the
starters grid.
Yeah, that's
Japan.
right. Okay, righto. It's time for
Toppa Plays of the Week. Brought to you by Leader NZ's Lasagna Toppa.
I tell you what, something that has knocked the Lasagna Toppa off the podium, and that is the Southern Fried Chicken Toppa.
Oh yeah.
Have you had it? Wrap your lips around that. It's chicken breast, chicken thigh, with potato and gravy, like that tastes exactly like the KFC potato and gravy.
Suspiciously similar.
Yeah,
yes.
and a topper. And the reason I enjoy it over I love the standard stock standard topper, but it's got a lot more structural integrity. Yeah. So you can really just get into it. The Southern Fried Chicken. Anyway, I digress. Number 3 on the Toppa Plays of the Week, and it's all the signs. The signs that the Warriors have got better and better. Like they've taken a leaf out of India, but they've taken it further. It's way cleverer, and some of the artwork is great. The Mike Johnson has been solid all season. Yeah, that kind of vibe.
The Warriors fans have always been, because we're quite funny people as Kiwis. I feel like we play it down a bit, but when there was in 2018 when we went on a run. That was the last time we made the playoffs. All of a sudden, Mount Smart Stadium was packed out. There was a dude standing there with a sign going, where did all these fans come from?
Yeah.
Famously, Let's Go on Warriors. Yep. That was just a misspelled sign.
Yeah.
We're a sign-based fandom. There's going to be heaps of them at Suncorp this weekend. All of them look very similar. Are there kits being handed out or something?
That's kind of what I got the vibe, because some of the Warriors logos are immaculate.
Yeah, and they're all the same colours.
Yes.
Now, granted, they're our colours, your blues, greens, reds, but still, it does look like there's being arts and crafts kits being dropped off in neighbourhoods around Auckland.
What was the porn one the guy had up?
Sean Hub.
Sean Hub, that's right. The Sean Hub one was great, because the guy looked about 17 as well. And he's like, you're pesting around Pornhub way too much.
Prime Sean Hub. And look, we all got the reference. So.
Totally. Number 2 on the Toppa Plays of the Week. If you've been down to Wanaka and you frequent the Bully Bar, you'll know Warhorse. You'll know who he is. He's a dude who looks like a warhorse. He looks like a man who's been part of several heavy metal bands in his time, plays a heavy, distorted electric guitar.
Almost in time, too.
Yeah, but he gets up at karaoke nights and he plays the riffs of all the classic hits and then teases people, then walks off stage. But anyway, he stood up to the pool table at the Bully Bar against Olympic gold medalist Nico Porteous at the Bully Bar. And Nico Porteous, he was going 4-0, wasn't he, on that pool table, just dispatching locals?
Not at this point.
Oh, really?
This is what launched the 4-0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Warhorse came up, broke, and how many did he sink?
Warhorse. That's second. Yeah. So Nico and his partner Mark, I think, and Jamessa, and one of them had gone to the bathroom and they couldn't decide who was going to break. So like, fuck it, guest break. Warhorse, who, by the way, this was on the Saturday night. The Friday night was the Bullock Bar, where Bully Idol, where he judged the Bully Idol, and so he showed up the next day in the same clothes. I was like, Warhorse, have you been home? And he's like, no. He's still wearing his Canadian tuxedo. He's got a denim jacket. He's got denim pants on. He hadn't moved from his perch at the Bullock Bar. And he's just like, oh, yeah, I don't really play pool. Give us that stick there. Bang. Oh. Sunk 2 balls straight off the break. Nico and Mark went on to beat me and Joe Jury by 2 balls. So, I don't know, read into that what you will. They then went undefeated for what I was too drunk at the time to keep count. It was somewhere between 4 and 8.
4 and 8.
5? I think 5 games undefeated they went. It was getting to the point where they were talking so much shit about, could someone just come over here and beat us because we're sick of playing pool, and that went on and on and on. It was tremendous. Oh yes, so the locals there. I don't know where this came from, but Mark Clinton, aka Bill Clinton, a skiing photographer of some renown. He asked one of the locals if they've ever been bent over, and I don't know where it came from or what it was in reference to, but from then on, every time they dispatched someone off the pool table, they were like, you ever been bent over? And it just went on and on for 5 consecutive games as they ran the table. By the time they eventually got knocked out and all the skiers had descended on the Bullock Bar, the locals were nowhere to be seen. They got pounded into oblivion.
They would have been outside around the outdoor fire, smoking durries.
Who would have thought Olympians quite coordinated?
Yeah, there you go. Number 1, Toppa Player of the Week. We first heard an Up the Wires at a golf course during Ryan Fox's final round, his round in which he cleaned up. Now, this bit of audio here, so Cam Smith has come out in support of the Broncos, and then there's footage of him teeing off, and just listen carefully.
Yeah, it'd be nice to ride the Broncos all the way home to the grand final, wouldn't it, Carl?
So that sound of the tee off is Cam Smith.
Up the walls!
that one's from Ryan Fox, but it's so good. It's just like that bit of footage mixed in with Cam Smith teeing off, and then way in the distance, just some cretin just going.
It was great execution of it as well. I thought it was flawless. 10 out of 10 for execution, 10 out of 10 for idea. That's 20 on the judges' scorecard.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why it is the number 1 Toppa Player of the Week, and that is us for the feature-length agenda for Thursday, September 21. We'll catch you tomorrow for the Daily.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.